because Trump has seemingly been campaigning or in office for a decade now. Do you have any kind of indication of how that district feels about Massie standing up to Trump when he does? I mean, is that something that Massie tries to amplify as a point of celebration and fundraising, or is it something Massie tries to downplay? Do you have any kind of indication of how that plays in the district?
Sure. I think we'd be naive to think that some of this opposition does not come with the raise $50 for me email because I'm standing up for you after the fact. But I truly think in his heart of hearts, Thomas Massie has a fidelity to the Constitution and a willingness to defend that, even if it comes at some seeming political cost. And if you look at some of the Republican casualties that have not been able to figure out how to weave in and out of this MAGA ecosystem, either kind of talk tough and then capitulate at the end of the day, or you retire. You seldom kind of stick with that type of principled opposition. I think the one area where I do see daylight between that overlapping Venn diagram of the Massie supporter and the Trump supporter is on the Iran strikes, and insofar as that's a proxy for how you support Israel, I think is probably the one area where voters in that district will have to take a pause and wonder, is Thomas Massie really representing a big priority for me? I think that will manifest itself in a primary. I think that will have an animating, motivating factor for a potential opponent. But by and large, if you take a breath every 2 years and think, what has Thomas Massie done for me? And it's maintain fidelity to the Constitution, try to maintain some semblance of fiscal sanity. And I think voters want to reward him for that at the end of the day. And he's even achieved Trump's endorsement in 2022, right? So it's kind of a marriage of convenience and inconvenience. And I don't want to belabor this, but I think it is important for your listeners to think of, and it's a good reminder for us, is that the margins are so slim in the House of Representatives. Donald Trump, just if history has any indication, probably has another 18 months where he's going to have that Republican majority in the House, a little bit more flexibility in the Senate, but he has to kind of raise the cost of independent streaks within the conference. And so this is about Thomas Massie. It is about Donald Trump, but ultimately he has to corral with such tight majorities that independent streak that any congressman may have. And Nolan, I'm the first to criticize the president when I think he steps outside of bounds or norms. I think that's just politics, and sometimes we forget that there is a cost to discipline from the top when you have to kind of work with the Congress on so much of the agenda.